Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so let's start. First topic. So two topics today. One is called the Romanization. That refers to how to write the Sanskrit in Roman letters or called the Latin letters. And the second topic is mispronunciations. So I'm not titling the talk as correct pronunciation because I do not have the ability to do correct pronunciation. I can only point out some of the very common incorrect pronunciations that are commonly here during the morning programs, and they are very easily correctable. So one piece of what we're going to talk is not the most important thing. So if you don't get it, or if other people don't get it, it's not that important. There is a famous story when Srila Prabhupada had disciples who he tried to teach them how to say it correctly, but they couldn't do it, and Prabhupada just said, it's okay. Yes. So a little bit of knowledge here can be very helpful, especially to do it correctly. But a little bit of knowledge cannot be misleading because there's always exceptions to any rule you learn. So try to not use your limited knowledge, try to judge everything. So advice is do not fault find or correct other people, because as I said, it's not the most important thing. And especially, senior devotees, if you can hear different people mispronounce different things here and there, but just unless you are in a teacher-student relationship with them, don't go and correct them.
So can you share the screen?
Oh,
sharing the screen on the
Zoom. In the Zoom.
So you have to replay.
Let's. Here.
Yeah. And then you can get the screen.
Okay, just go back. Yeah, well, we're still on the same screen.
Yeah.
So yeah, the topics: Romanization and mispronunciation.
No, presentation. Presentation.
In the okay, yeah, okay. So and also just interrupt me at any time.
I think you're sharing your screen. You're not sharing this screen.
I'm sharing this one now.
Yeah. Oh. But you have to share this one. How the whole desktop is shared. Can you go here and stop share? Yeah.
This one will work.
Click here the presentation.
No.
This one.
Yeah, somehow it only asks me to share.
The first one is a control. Entire desktop to share is better, right? Yeah, you can look.
It's an entire screen, but I tried entire screen already. It shows this screen, not that screen somehow.
Click straight, bro. Are you? I think, bro, you are extending it. You're not duplicating it.
I was doing duplicate, but
no, that should not matter, bro. For sharing, it should not. You go here, bro. Go here. See application. I'm not asking to share this one.
I mean, want me to show that screen?
Setting.
Oh, sorry.
Just come out of just
I was do duplicate. I'm in the duplicate mode.
Yeah, stop the share. Stop the share. Stop the share. Here on the top. Yeah. Go to the screen.
I think
extend the display, bro. Yes, go for extend the display. Yes. Okay, perfect. Now you go to the share the screen, bro. Zoom. Yeah, Zoom. First, go to the presentation, bro. Just go to the presentation first.
Yeah, now ask me 2 screens. That's right.
But you're not started sharing the screen on the Zoom. Oh, yeah, perfect. Bro.
Okay.
Yeah, screen perfect. Sorry.
Okay. Can we just stop recording and restart if you start recording already?
You can just get started.
Okay. So topics, Romanization, how to present it in Roman or Latin letters, and mispronunciations. We can point out some of the common ones. And interrupt me at any time because I tend to speak without paying attention to the audience. Just any question can just stop me. So Sanskrit is a pure phonetic language, which means the Sanskrit sound and also the letter, they completely agree with each other. So English is not so. For example, these are some common examples. You can have the same sound but different words, like the two, right? You can have 3 different words for two. You can have same letter but with different sound. For example, the fat, fate, father. So the A here have 3 different. It's the same spelling but different sounds. You can even have same word but different sounds. For example, to read versus have read. So, but Sanskrit is complete opposite. The letter and the letter agree 100%. So the Sanskrit most commonly written in the Devanagari script. For example, this is how we write Hare Krishna and Rama. Can also be written in other Indic scripts. For example, this is the Bengali and also Telugu. Anybody speak Telugu can check if it's correct. Just copy pasted it. So of course, these scripts are very complex and it's hard to especially for international audience to access. So that's why we use something called transliteration. Transliteration is a one-to-one mapping from one writing system to another. The emphasis is one-to-one mapping. So the common mappings are not one-to-one. For example, this is how we commonly you see people say Krishna and Shiva, right? Krishna and Shiva. Here the SH represents, in first one is a sh, in second one is sh, right? So SH represent 2 different sounds. And also Krishna and Hari. So here R and I, in the first one is a vowel, in the second one is the syllable r, I, ri, Hari. So when we use this kind of a mapping writing system, you cannot translate back to Sanskrit exactly, because unless you know Sanskrit, know which word it's referring to, you can't really go back to Sanskrit. Therefore, the BBT uses a standard called the International Alphabet for Sanskrit Transliteration. So in this is a one-to-one mapping system. And so it uses Roman letters. So Roman letters, they're just 26 letters, right? Sanskrit have about almost 50 sounds or 50 letters. So of course you cannot just use Roman letters alone. You have to use diacritics. The diacritics are just these additional symbols you add, on top or below these letters. So this is how we write Hare, Krishna, Rama, and Shiva, and Hari. So here you can see it avoids the problem from the above one. So Kr, the R with a dot, and Hari is the R and I, so they're different. And also Krishna is a S with a dot, and Shiva is S with this acute sign on top. So when we write in this way, so the Latin letters, they provide uppercase and lowercase, right? So Sanskrit itself does not have a concept of uppercase and lowercase, like Devanagari or any Indic script. So in English, we use it as a convention. We usually use uppercase for names, for proper names. Like for example, Krishna is a supreme percent Godhead. We capitalize, all the first letters. But when we write verses, right, even if Krishna name appear in verses, we typically don't capitalize any letter inside the verses. We just write them all with lowercase letters as a convention. So this is a list of all the letters in this IAST system. So just briefly mention this, Sanskrit, have 5 locations pronunciation from the back, guttural, from the throat to the palatal, from the palate to the retroflex with the tongue rolled back, and the dental on the touching the teeth, and the labial from the lip. So in the middle, you have this 5 by 5 matrix, right? So each row is corresponding to one of the locations from the back to front. So g k g g ng and ch ch j ch nya d t d t n d t d t n b p b p m. So so not only these 5 by 5 matrix, every single other letter is also corresponding to one of these pronouncing locations, except some vowels, they expand 2 locations, but all these consonants, they all happen at one of these locations. So here, the diacritics function, so we use this called macron, these bars on the top, but they're used for long vowels. For example, so e, u. So this bar is for long vowels, and also l. Of course, this last one is you never see it in any Sanskrit usage. And we use a dot below for retroflex. So it's this row, right? The t, d, n. So in this row, and also in other places like this vowel, that's also a retroflex vowel, and also you use it for sh, this sibilant. So they have 3 of them, the sh, s, correspond to location 1. Correspond to 2, 3, and 4. So these 3 of the sibilant sound. So the dot below is for the retroflex, corresponding to the 3rd one. Exception here is the h with a dot. So here is not a retroflex sound, it's just the visarga, h, like at the end of the after letter, like aha, ha. So, and also L with a dot below, l, so that's for another vowel. This is also not retroflex, this is a dental sound. So, but otherwise, everywhere else, a dot below is for retroflex. And dot above is for nasal sound. So, for example, n with a dot above the ng, and m with a dot above is an is this nasal sound. Here's misspelling, is IAST. So the actual standard uses M with a dot below, but BBT uses dot above, which actually is much better because this goes with the other nasal sound. And also it doesn't go with any of the retroflex. So actually dot below is dot above is much better. And then other category, so the other 2 is nya, so n with a tilde on the top. And so that's nasal sound in this palatal group. And also S with the acute sign on top. This is also the sibilant on the palatal group. So there's 2 exceptions. And also we use H after the stops for aspirated sound. So that's the 2nd column and 4th column here, right? So one is called non-aspirated, one is called aspirated, called alpa prana and mahaprana. So it's cut. So here, just notice that pay attention that even though it's 2 letters, it's 1 sound. This corresponds to 1 sound in Sanskrit, a 1 Devanagari letter. It's not 2. So we already mentioned this is 1-to-1 mapping, right? So we know K corresponds to 1 letter, right? H is also corresponding to letter, H, right? So there's also KH. So can KH mean K plus H, right? If that's the case, we always say KH itself is 1 letter, but if K and H each is a different letter, then that's not a 1-to-1 mapping anymore, right? But fortunately in Sanskrit, when you have K and H together, it always becomes K. So you never have a K sound and H sound meet together and remain separate. So they always become K. So you maintain this 1-to-1 mapping. So this is the whole translation scheme. Any questions here? Okay, so I want to mention another one. So this is the one we see in BP books everywhere. And I think when we do any official presentation, like when we display on the screen, when we make a poster, we should all stick to this same system instead of using different systems. Some systems they don't have one-to-one mapping. Some systems they are different from this. Like India has many different translation schemes, but since we are in ISKCON and ISKCON BBT have this adopted standard, I think we should all adopt this standard. And this is the same standard you will see like when you download when you copy from database, it's the same one. And when you copy from KK songs, it's the same one. So let's just always do the correct one instead of matching many different schemes. For example, like when we do Mangalarti, we always recite the Mangalacharna prayers, right? And so that display very correctly. But then when we go some evening program, when we do some appearance experience days, then we display something else. And without the diacritics, actually, it's very hard to pronounce them because you don't really know which letter it is sometimes. And also, you don't know whether it's a short vowel or long vowel, right? You don't know which sound it is. So in order to pronounce correctly, you have to use, instead of using Devanagari, you should use this system. So I want to mention another one. So this is one system. Another one common one is it's called the Harvard-Kyoto transliteration. So this was commonly used when this is before Unicode, right? So with Unicode, the diacritics become much easier because each one just corresponds, there's standard coding for them. Before Unicode, you have to use custom coding and use custom font just in order to display the diacritics. And to type them also very hard. So before that, there was this another common usage used in academic circle called Harvard-Kyoto. So this one doesn't use any diacritics, but they use uppercase letters. So for example, Hare Krishna Rama. So that's how to write in the Harvard-Kyoto translation scheme. And so this is a comparison between the ISAT and HK. So the difference is here we use uppercase inside diacritics. For example, we just use uppercase A, right? We just uppercase R. This retroflex which is uppercase T. Which is uppercase S. Which is uppercase M. So mostly just uppercase. The only exception is we run out letters, right? Because there are many, the letter N has different diacritics, right? So the one with the dot below we use uppercase. And the other two, we had to find something else. So what we do is we use the one from the same group. So this N is in the K varga. So we just use corresponding to the K, G. So we use uppercase G for it, G. And also the Nya is in the J varga. So we use J, uppercase J here. So these two, and also there are three S here. So the retroflex one is uppercase S. So the pilot one, we use V here. So the reason I mentioned to this one is because how do we type these diacritics, right? So we can copy and paste it, but if we don't have really want to type your own, so I have this web page. I will share the slide later, so you know this URL. So this one, it can translate between all the schemes. You type in any box, the other one update. So the Harvard-Kyoto one, since it doesn't require diacritic, you can type it directly. You can, for example, say we want to type Krishna, just KR, uppercase SNA, right? I type Krishna. Then I can get this with diacritics here, Krishna. I can also get the one with Devanagari here. So if you are familiar with Harvard-Kyoto input for anything, you can type here and you can copy other ones to where you need. There is also a Blink program. So this is a program, the simple program, which allows you to type diacritics directly. So it's this, you can see from there. Actually, I need to move this screen over. Yeah. So this is the screen. Yeah, this is the screen I'm talking about. So in this website, so you can type in the Harvard-Kyoto, type anything, and like say Rama, just type uppercase A, then you get the diacritics here, and you get Devanagari here. there is a program here. Let's give a link to a program. This program can help you to type diacritic directly if that's what you want. So let me move back to this. Started.
The Balram font that we use sometimes in the presentation. Prabhu.
Yes. So Balram font. So what happened is that's something I have it. I think I have it. Yeah. So Balram font that's before Unicode, right? So before Unicode, so BBT they hijacked the existing Latin letters and they changed the coding to say now this one like for the Kṛṣṇa they use this particular one, right? Yeah. Like they use this E with a 2 dot top. They use this for no, right? But this is what's a standard Latin encoding. We hijacked it, so we need a special font, which will display this one. Like instead of A with 2 dots, become A with a bar on top. So that's why you need a Balram font or similar Tamil font. There are a few fonts that do that. So this is the BBT American system. The BBT Europe has another one. So they did similar thing, but it's a different mapping. So then you need to use their font. Their font called Sanskrit something like. If you copy from database by default, it's this one, the Balram one. But nowadays they also have a plugin you can actually copy Unicode. So if you can just say I want to copy Unicode, and you get Unicode. So then you just display with normal font, and you get this correct diacritics like this. So if you have existing thing in Balram font, you don't have the font itself, you can copy into here, then you'll get the Unicode here. Yeah. So this allows you to go between the different schemes here. Okay, let me close this. Yeah. So I didn't. So anyway, so I mentioned there was a link that the small program where if you open the program, you can type any diacritics by press Control key and then press another letter. So there's a custom mapping where you do Control A, you give A with a bar on top. So just a helper program. That's also on that web page. You can get it. So this is the reason why I mentioned the hierarchical system, because this allows you to type it without any external program. I mean, unless you have like a special keyboard where you can type diacritics directly, or Devanagari, like you need a special input schemes or keyboards. So, okay, so that's all about the, yeah, so I mentioned all the temple screen display posters, I think we should all use the, I think I keep missing, I think it's IAST, International Alphabet, no, Internet Standard, Inter-Alphabet Sanskrit Translation, yeah, it's IAST. So I want to give you an example. So this is from a poster we have downstairs. I took a screenshot. So whoever can read the Devanagari, you can compare with the diacritics and tell me what the problem here is.
Not even see what is right.
Yeah. So what happened is they can't display the diacritic except the long R, right? And everything else with diacritic all gets skipped here, right? So instead of prashta become praha, right? The S with a dot and T with a dot both are missing, right? Padyam, this is missing. So it just missed all the letters with diacritics. So then it's become completely unreadable, right? Praha, padya, para. Yeah, it's parnamasya, the no is missing. So to get these correct ones is very easy. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam verse. You can just copy from this website, the database. That's how it's supposed to be. So whoever has access to the poster, please correct it and reprint it.
Which poster is this one?
This is for the this verse about give Srimad Bhagavatam balcony. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's asking where you get that postcard.
It's right outside the store.
Prabhu, in the Veda's translation also it's not correct.
Which one?
It's written Badhyam.
Yeah, it's Padyam. It's right? But yeah.
Right. But
This
it's supposed to be right.
Yeah, but this is there. This this is there.
That's correct.
Yeah, Padyam.
Yeah, should be.
Yeah.
Now he's there.
Actually, we can let's go back to okay, let's showcase the program again. Try to scroll up.
The previous was the same one who gives Bhagavatam on the golden. Yeah, that's it. The whole.
I don't know why I'm not. Why I'm missing my scroll bar.
Use the direction keys.
Oh, I use page up now. Oh, sorry. Okay, so pa down. So that's how it is, right? Down here, yeah, and then down. Oh. Anyway, so we finished the first topic. So we'll finish our first topic on the.
You reiterate on that all the different diacritics, that in which situation you put the different diacritics.
Oh,
like,
that one?
yeah.
You mean this one?
Yeah, the very last one, bottom one. Like there are 5 conditions.
Starting from Mac.
Yeah, there are five. Just yeah. I mean, they are 5 categories of when we use it.
With
Yeah.
some any example like.
Well, the main example right here is essentially basically, so like so I'm assuming you all know the Indian alphabet system, right? So you know there's a R, right? So the diagram is R. So this is long R, right? Then you have this sound, so that's R with a dot, right? And with L with a dot, and then down here the retroflex ones need a dot below to distinguish from the dental ones, right? These are dental ones, the t, the n. So you need this dot to there, the t, the n, right? And then you have these nasal sounds, so you need n, nya, n, ma. And then you have 3 of the sibilants, so you have a sh, sa. And also, of course, you have this aha. So distinguish this from this ma, so you need diacritics, and this, right? So it's very like intuitive. If you like read, it's very intuitive how they did it.
That's good.
Yeah. So any other questions? Okay, so that's finished the part about the spelling. So mispronunciation. So to avoid mispronunciations, one is make sure you pronounce as Sanskrit instead of Hindi or Bengali or any other Indian language. Also pay attention and pronounce the vowels as written. So don't pronounce the one you think it is. Pronounce the one that's actually written. Distinguish between short and long vowels. That's actually should be very easy. So to do really correct pronunciation, these are the topics I'm not going to cover here. One is the distinction between retroflex and dental consonants, right? Pronounce them distinctly. Distinction between the aspirated and unaspirated consonants, right? This one for me is very hard. As a non-Indian language speaker, it's very hard to grasp this. and to be able to kind of pronounce the difference and hear the difference. For me, it's very hard. So if you really want to improve your pronunciation, there's this devotee. So he has this Sanskrit pronunciation for ISKCON online course. It's only $5 online course. You can sign up. He goes through many pronunciations, especially for the common ISKCON prayers and verses. And then he has other courses on more like complete pronunciation training, but he's really offer huge discount for this particular course. So next. So the first one, pronounce as Sanskrit instead of Hindi or Bengali. So when it's in Sanskrit, there is no silent at the end, right? So when you write in Devanagari, especially, every letter has an inherent inside, unless you remove it explicitly. Otherwise, there's inherent there. So in the Maha Mantra, it's Rama, right? We also, in transliteration, we also say Rama, right? We put in the end. So don't pronounce it Ram, right? Ram will be Devanagari. You have to put this Virama here. Halam, yeah. So it's not Ram, it's Rama. So pronounce the end up.
Also, Prabhu, Vyas, it's Vyasa Puja. It's not Vyas Puja.
Yeah, it's Vyasa Puja, yes. Yeah. So, I mean, I think in colloquial, like when we talk it, like, because we're used to certain things, it's okay. But when we, chanting mantras or read the verses, we should really adhere to not skipping the ending up. Go back there. So also another thing, Rama. So don't say Ramo, right? There's a Bengali, they pronounce as O. But unless you're Bengali yourself, I mean, it's okay to say Ramo. If not, don't imitate Bengali pronunciation when you chant, right? Just say Rama, not Ramo. Like when we sing the Tooth Puja, we try to imitate the Bengali song because it is a Bengali prayer, right? So we try to imitate the Bengali, but not, when we do Maha Mantra. And another thing I noticed is people seem to overcompensate for this right? So this the Kṛṣṇa, they know there's in the end. And they feel like will be silent, so they actually added in the end to make it Kṛṣṇa. You will see this actually in I've seen it in some devotees' doors, like outside they write Mahamaj on the door, they write Kṛṣṇa. I've seen on some T-shirts, I've seen on some Harinam chadars, they will spell Kṛṣṇa instead of Kṛṣṇa. So just watch out for that. Like I will not buy, a chadar with the wrong spelling on it. So, yeah, Kṛṣṇa is one name for Draupadi, right? It's not yeah.
That's because of their mother tongue influence.
Yeah. So another common thing is the ph, right? Ph is p. In sense, p is a p, right? But in Hindi, I think it's f, right? So we should say palam, not falam, right? You hear this a lot also. Yeah. So second one is pay attention and pronounce the vowels as written, right? So this is a lot of them. So any volunteer want to read this prayer? Right.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Nami.
Very good. So what do you commonly hear difference? So commonly, many devotees say Srimati. If a lot of them say Srimati, because Srimati is a common word, right? But Srimati here will be incorrect because Srimati is a Strilinga sound word, and Srimate is actually the Chaturthi vibhakti for Shriman, right? Shriman, Shrimate. So now Srimati. This one.
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyeva Shatya Dishatare.
So here it's the word Sarasvati. Many devotees pronounce Sarasvati because we all know the word Sarasvati, but it's first of all it's it's not it's Sarasvati. Because Srila Prabhupada, so his spiritual master name is Sarasvati. So he is a Sarasvata, the follower of Sarasvati. So it's a Sarasvata, and then here is a locative ending, so Sarasvati. But commonly here Sarasvati. And then this is Devi. You can hear Devi here a lot also. People say Namaste Saraswati Devi, like that. So, and so if you have a doubt about, maybe this spelling itself is wrong here, right? Maybe what people say are correct. Maybe the spelling is wrong here. So I found
I read it wrong as well. Saraswati, not Saraswati.
That's a common mistake.
That's very common, yeah, very common. So there is actually a letter to Srila Prabhupada. So I guess they are still finalizing this. So it was in 1970 to Pradyumna, right, the Sanskrit scholar among the devotees. So Prabhupada said, regarding the new prayer addition, Namaste, Saraswati, Deva. So I guess somehow initially people think it was Deva. And Prabhupada said, I think you can change the word Deva into Devi to make it compatible with Saraswati. Saraswati is locative, so you can change the word to Devi to make it fit. Or it can be made Devam. Actually, you also hear people sometimes say Devam. So Devam is accusative singular and Devi is locative singular. So both can be used, but I think Devi would be most fitting word. So this Papa's own letter. So we say Saraswati, Devi. So next, so this is from the Gurvastika. So the one I'm pointing out here is a prasad. Often people say prasado. It's actually prasada. There's no O here because this is still inside the same samasa. It runs to the second line. So here there is no vibhakti ending here to make it an O. It's prasada. But this is a minor. This is a very minor point. I think the previous one I think is more important because this is our pre-taught spiritual master. We should pronounce it correctly. So and this is also in the Gurvastika. So the common, well, it's actually less common now. In the beginning here, a lot of mispronunciation here, but now it's very rare. So this is uktas. Occasionally still hear yuktas, but it's uktas. Another minor one here is kintu prabhu. Very often hear Prabhu because we know the word Prabhu, but it's actually Bor because it's the Shashti Vibhakti of Prabhu. It's Prabhu. So not yuktas, not Prabhu. Next one, Nishinha one. Okay. So again, this one not that important, I think, because we are so used to how to do it. In Jayadvaita Maharaj's book, he actually mentioned this, and he said we should pronounce as it was written. The problem is here because the Sandhi rules comes in. So some places some places o. It depends on what's coming after them, whether it's voiced or unvoiced. So it looks quite random. Ito nishin haf, parado nishin ho, yado yami dado nishin ha, bahir nishin ho, hridaye nishin ho, nishin ha madim sharanam prabhade. So
I was about to ask this one. So this is a combination of Hindi and Bengali.
No, this is pure Sanskrit. This word pure Sanskrit. The difference between aha and o is all the o come from aha, but because what's after the o, so it's like yato. So ya here is a voiced sound. It's a gosha sound. So makes aha into o. Versus here, the first aha it comes as ba parato. So ba is unvoiced sound. So it's so that's why aha stays. So actually, all the aha, and also this aha is at the end, so at the end doesn't change. So that's why these two aha survived, and the other three all become O because what's after them, the ya, ha, and the n, all these voiced consonants make them change. So just pay attention to Nishin ha and Nishin ho.
Narasimha and Narasimha is the same meaning or different?
It's the same word. It's the same word, but because of Sandhi, the sound changes. So Sandhi is a sense in Sanskrit, the sound changes based on surrounding sound. Just like the most common example is Krishna stew, Bhagavan Soyam, right? Why is Krishna's, where does this come from? The word is Kṛṣṇa-ha. Kṛṣṇa-ha is the Pratama Vibhakti. It's the nominative. Okay, so Kṛṣṇa-ha, but because tu comes after it, aha plus tu become us tu. So that's Krishna stew, Bhagavan Soyam. So here same Nishinhaha. Everywhere is Nishinhaha. The whole thing is Nishinha in the Pratama Vibhakti, in the nominative case. But because what's coming after them, sometimes become O. But it's the same word, exactly same word, just different, just Sandhi. Here, the last one is different, Nishinham. This is Nishinha, but in a different case. This is in the accusative case, in the Dvitiya Vibhakti. So Nishinham, but all the rest are Nishinhaha. But some become Nishinho. So that's how.
Generally, including me as well, in the second line, yato yato yami tato narsimho, that goes well as per Sandhi wise. Yato yato yami tato narsimho.
Nishinho, yeah.
It depends
So-
on what comes after.
So what happens? Aha. So since this is 4 line verse, right? Yeah. So there's nothing after it because this is the end of this the half of the verse, the end of the half. Therefore, it doesn't change. The first one. So even though written in 4 lines, actually it's only 2 halves. So for the purpose of Sandhi, between the first line and second line, the Sandhi still applies. It's still the same half. But between the first half and the second half, there is no Sandhi. There's a completely stop there. So that's why it doesn't apply here. When you sing it, we actually sing it in 4 separate lines. So optionally, some people say here, since I'm having complete stop, I'm going to undo the Sandhi and sing the Nishinhaha here. And that's also acceptable if you know what they're doing. So you can undo some of the Sandhi because you are breaking it into different more parts. But either just do it according to what's written. So
It's written Narasimha or Narasimha.
yeah.
Somebody said Narasingha. Is that a right way to say it? Singha as a Simha.
Singha, I say Singha.
Singha.
Yeah.
There's a girl.
No, it's ha. It's a ha. Sing is just a nasal sound. Sing ha. Sing ha. Of course, a lot of people say Nishinga, right? They say ga. I think, and some people say Nishima.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some regional difference in how people pronounce it. Yeah.
Singham is what lion.
Yeah. This is yeah.
Singham. Not even Sanskrit also is Singham.
Yeah, I mean, this is a line. Singha means man.
Man.
Singha means lion. So this is a half man, half lion.
That's me.
No, this sense.
Almost nobody says Narasimha. Everyone says Narasimha.
Yeah, in the last line, most people say Narasingha Madim. But technically it's Narasingha Madim. So those are minor, people like to say Narasingha is fine, So anyway, again, these are not very important. So depends on how much you want to change your habit. I'm just pointing out what the official verse is. So the next one, okay, this is the Tulsi prayer. Anyone want to try this? All right, good. Yeah. So here, next line. Yeah. So Shivalabha have no Sanskrit, so that's why so there are a few things here. So Vishnu Bhakti Praday, you hear Prati here all the time. Prati, say Prati Devi, Prati Devi, or Prati Devi. So it's Praday, because this word is a Prada. So Vishnu Bhakti Prada. So she gives Vishnu Bhakti. So Prada, and Prada here's a vocative case. You're addressing Tulsi Devi. So just like a Radha become Radhe. So Prada become Prade. So here you're actually calling her the Vishnu Bhakti Prade. Say, oh, you who the giver of Vishnu Bhakti. So it's Prade. Prade here won't make any sense. And then Devi. Notice this Devi is a short e, because originally Devi, right? The goddess Devi. But again, here the vocative. Vocative for Devi is Devi. It's a short e. So Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi. So the Prade, some not Prati, and also Devi, not Devi. It's Devi. Another minor thing is since we say Vrindaye, and also we say Priyaye, rather than Aye and Satyavat. So here Aye. So sometimes get carried over the Devya. Devya, some people say Devyaye. So they add the extra ya there sometimes. But so sometimes it's Devyaye, but it's not Devya, it's just Devyaye. So Vrindaye, Tulasi Devyaye. There's no ya here. There's no ah here. That's because this word is Vrinda. This is a Priya. Here is Devi. So become from Devi. There's no ah here. So Devya.
So sometimes people, instead of saying Vishnu Bhakti Devi, they will say Krishna Bhakti Devi. So
yeah, that one I think it become a person preference. So personally, I prefer, and I believe Vishnu is the original in the verse, because if Krishna was there, no one changed to Vishnu, right? Because Vishnu was there, people try to change to Krishna. But this verse is already referring to Krishna, even with Vishnu here, because here we say Keshavasya. So Keshava is undoubtedly referring to Krishna here. So even when say Vishnu Bhakti, is still referring to Krishna Bhakti already. So personally, I think there's no need to modify a verse. But some people used to do it. I think it's also fine. I think I forgot who said. I mean, some people ask some guru and they say either way is fine. I forgot who gave that answer, but maybe Prabhupada gave it answer actually. But yeah, personally, I say Vishnu. But I know Vishnu here referred to Krishna because of the Keshava cell. Keshava. Okay. Any other question on this one?
someone else talking to before, you're telling me that Vishnu Bhakti learn the line. It's not Krishna, so it's like not Krishna saying.
Yeah, I also noticed someone the first two times they will speak Vishnu and third time they will move to the Krishna.
There are different conventions. Yeah. Yes.
So I'm going to say, as Prabhu said, whatever is the original, we should use that. Its original is the Vishnu. See, in that way, say, if we follow Krishna, but we are called as Vaishnava. Yeah. So then we should be called as Kṛṣṇas, right? So we will know. We don't do that, right? So we are not as Vaishnavas. So that is all. Yeah.
Also, just side point. So Namo Namaha here, it's a two words, Namaha Namaha. So there's no difference between Namo and Namaha. The O here is because of Sandy. So originally it's Namaha Namaha, but when you join them together, it's Namo Namaha. So just obeisance and obeisances. That's literally what it means. Namaha Namaha.
Let's say if I speak on this one, the Vrindai Tulsi Devai. So Yai, instead of Yai, my Hindi pronunciation go as Devai. So I'm missing the Y there in that case. But
No, you are missing extra A. You know, missing extra A. Yeah, between B and Y.
I'm
No,
adding extra A.
Yeah.
But then I'm missing the Y. The VI.
yeah, just VI.
VI.
Yeah, VI.
Yeah, as Prabhu mentioned, it's because the root is Devi as opposed to Vrinda. So if it's something is ending with A, then it is named Vrinda.
Yeah,
Because
so
it's ending with E, there is no Akara, Ikanta, Vikaranta, Strilinga.
so next one. Oh, so this is from the Hari. Actually, this one I used to say it wrong all the time. I used to say Hari Haraya. because we say Krishnaya, also here Yadavaya, right? Yadavaya, Keshavaya. So common to say Haraya, but actually it's Haraye because the word here is Hari. So for Hari, the Chaturthi is Haraye. But for Yadava is Yadavaya, Keshavaya, Madhavaya. So it's all Aya. But here is a Haraye. Okay. So this reminds me. So when we do the that's when I first got interested in Sanskrit, I guess. I mean, this like when I learned the prayer to Padma Tilak, right? So we'll say, Om Keshavaya Namaha, right? Om Govindaya Namaha, etc. But then Om Vishnave Namaha, right? Why is Om Vishnave? Well, everyone else is Aya, right? Shirdaya, Padmanabhaya, everything Aya, but then Vishnave Namaha. Why is Vishnave? Because that word is Vishnu. It ends with U. Every other word ends with right? Krishna, Vasudeva, Padmanabha. So when it ends with the Chaturthi is Aya. But when it ends with U, it's Abe. Here is end with E, so it's Aye. So Hari becomes Haraye. So Hari Haraye Nama Krishna. Another interesting thing about this prayer is these first two lines, they are Sanskrit, but then it's no longer Sanskrit. I think it changed to Bengali. I think my animation got a little messed up. So let's go back to this Krishna. So this is a prayer to Krishna. Krishna sin. So here is a Krishna do. Commonly you hear Krishna Sindhu. Because we do say Krishna Karuna Sindhu, right? Dina Bandhu. But here, because the Sanskrit verse it's vocative, so U become O. I want to sing it to the short long. I mean, we extend certain syllables, and so short long not very strict one. Especially when sing it. So say Hari Haraya, no, that's fine. Yeah. But if you say Hari Haraya, then that's different, right? Like so.
Yeah. It's singing sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Like technically we say namaste, but we all say namaste, right? It's actually namaste, but when you sing, something get long, depend on to fit the melody, something get extend, yeah. Okay, so these are next one. So before I was about the vowels, but also we also have to pay attention to consonants. Sometimes they are so this is part of Mangalarti, right? Pray to Radha Madan Mohan. So Matsarasva Padam Bojo, sometimes here Matsarasya. Just pointed out. Most people say Sarasva, but occasionally say Sarasya. Okay. This one, Damdarska. Okay. So I already, bolded this one. So do you know what usually people sing here? You can try it. Graivam. Yes, correct. What's a Graivam? Graivam is a misspelling. Misspelling, and in many places, including KK songs, and even in some old songbooks. So they all say Graivam here. But if you look at the Veda base say Graiva. So KK songs is very convenient. You can copy all the songs from it, but it contains certain typos. So we should still use Veda base as the authority. And also to convince you that here is not that's because it's dictated by the meter here. So this syllable here has to be lagu, has to be a light syllable. Right, like so this is a 4 syllable, right? Yeah, 4 syllable here, rudanta mu, this is a lagu here. So it's a lagu, guru, that's a meter. So it's a light, heavy, light, heavy. All 12 syllable like that. So stita grai, so that's light, heavy. So this has to be a light syllable. And you put here, it's just wrong.
Time also matters in that. So sometimes we just missing that, okay, we need to finish it quick, then. Right? It's times.
No, that should not be excused.
No, here is the Gravami actually is adding time to it. It's actually make it take it longer. Yeah, but this is just because there's is misspelled in many places. Most song sheets, some books, websites, you see it everywhere. That misspelled here.
But it's also fitting in the middle. Sita Graivam, Damodaram, Bhakti
So, okay, I think we're almost done here. Okay, a distinction between short and long vowels. Okay, this is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So just want to emphasize the Bhagavate is not Bhagavate, right? Because we have Bhagavan and Bhagavata. So this is the alphabet of Bhagavan. So and Vasudeva, Krishna is Vasudeva. His father is Vasudeva, Krishna Vasudeva. So this is the long R here and short R here. Of course, when we sing it, it gets very blurred. But when we say the prayer itself, it should be very clear. So, short long. Okay, I think this. Okay, this is this one. I think most people are aware of it, right? So this is the Shikshastakam last one. Yasya prasadat and yasya prasadam. So there's a short R here and a long R here. That's because the first line is yasya prasada, from whose mercy. The second line is yasya aprasada, so from whom no mercy, when don't get mercy from him. So yasya and aprasada, because Sandy, these two are joined together, become a long R. So yasya prasada. Sorry, yeah, you're right. It's Gurvastikam. Yeah, last verse of Gurvastikam. So yeah, so when you sing the sing wrong, if you say yasya prasadam, second, if you also sing yasya prasadam, Nagati Kutobi become, by Guru's mercy, I'm going nowhere. So.
But at the same time, Prabhu, I heard even I also do it sometimes. The second line, to make it sound different, we say yasya aprasada, like that also we say, but it's not like
yeah, yeah. I think just elongating it will be enough.
Yeah.
Just yasya prasad and just exaggerate a little bit. Yasya prasada, then yasya prasada, just up and ah.
Since Yasya Prasada, he's just clearly mentioned.
Yeah, he want to emphasize that.
Yeah, it's only, but the starting is what he said. Even I also say like that because I'm afraid of making same as the first line.
Yeah.
So I try to say yasya prasadam, but actually the right is yasya.
Yeah.
Because when you say yasya aprasad, and then you add the actual syllable there, then it breaks the meter of this
Yes,
line.
because in Sanskrit, whenever it's supposed to come in, you have to combine. You cannot separate whenever you want. If Sandhi is there, you have to follow Sandhi.
Yeah, because this one, I forgot the name. I never remember the name of the meter, but then this is 11 syllable each line. When you say yasya aprasada, then it becomes 12 syllables. So it's not the same meter anymore. So that's why it's better to combine them here. The next one, I think, one last one, I think. Oh, still come. Okay. So this is this is from the Hari Hari Nama Krishna song, right? So this is the second two lines, but as I mentioned, this is not here actually not Sanskrit anymore. This is well, they don't have any. I really can't tell. I mean, we'll assume it's Bengali. So basically, you don't have all these vibhaktis. You don't have to worry about them. They just Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shadvaita Sita Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita. So the only one emphasis. So sometimes here is Bhagavad Gita, right? Just say Bhagavad Gita. But actually it's a Bhagavata. So Bhagavata here referring to Srimad Bhagavatam, right? We mention both Srimad Bhagavatam and Gita, which is Bhagavad Gita. So the Bhagavata Gita instead of Bhagavad Gita. But this part is in Bengali, but the first two lines, that part is Sanskrit. So that's it. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions or discussions?
So I missed what you said about the Balarama.
Oh yeah. So it's about encoding, right? So there is a so there's a question of what the letter look like. That's the diacritics, right? And then the second is how to encode it, right? So when there's no diacritics, the standard use ASCII encoding. And then you have this standard Latin encoding, which adds something for the European languages. But they don't have the some diacritics we need. So before there was Unicode, what the BBT did was they repurposed some of these encodings for their own purpose. So use, for example, the R with the 2 dots on top. They say we can use this for R with a long bar. But then if you use a standard font, then that's how it displays. So they created own font. And that own font will say, if I see this number, I will display in this way. So those fonts are called the Balaram font or Tamil font. There are quite a few fonts there for that. So that's the BBT American encoding. So when you don't have those fonts, they just display something. Well, if you get used to it, actually, you can read it. Like because they're standard, only a few of them. So if you get used to it, you can actually read it. But otherwise, yeah, they won't display correctly. So that's the BBT American ones. And the BBT Europe, East Europe, they have a separate set mapping. The same idea, but they choose a different values for those diacritics. So then you have to use their font to display it properly. Yeah, so that's about encoding. And then how to type it. So that's where that, actually, I will see if I can bring up this program. Why it's not showing? Okay, here, try to bring this. Okay, so this program is called Kṛṣṇa-kīrtana. So, sorry, should be back here. So this one is allow you to type a diacritics directly. You can type so by default you press Control key, and then you press Control key and release it. Like you press Control, then press A, then you get this A with a bar. And also this program now handle multiple fonts. So the one I'm doing usually does the Unicode, but they also do the Western European, Eastern American. So the American character map, this is the Tamil or Balaram one. Apparently there are 2 different European ones. Now, yeah, there's the Western European, the Eastern European. Yeah. Another one for Russian, I guess. Yeah.
So Tamil and Balaram part of the same program?
They have the same encoding. It just it's font that displayed differently, right? It's different font, but they map to the same encoding behind it. Yeah. So if you want to, so the link to this is also in the website I shared. It's a very small program. It's not very convenient because when I type a Control key, I should keep pressing the wrong page up, page down, getting different places. But yeah, if you just type a few, it still works. Okay. So any other questions?
So with somewhere in this one, we are changing the pronunciation, but are we changing if I speak like Sthita, Grevam, Damodaram, am I changing the meaning of the word Greva and Grevam? Is that different?
Well, technically, when I say Grevam, in that particular one, the grammatically, I think, is still be okay. You're breaking the very long pound static grava. Damodar is a one word, one compound, but still grava is described Damodar anyway. So it says gravam. That is grammatically still will make sense. But you break the chandas, the meter of this verse. That's all. So, but in certain places, like yes, prasada, and you mispronounce it, then you completely change the meaning, right? It depends on,
And one particular point I noticed that like in Narasimha Aarti, the one which is shown, somewhere Narasimha, somewhere Narasimha.
Yeah.
Just as a flow wise, if I change that Narasimha, I'm going to correct that part.
Yeah. No, I mean, that one probably is,
doesn't change.
yeah, that's probably one of the least important ones. Because I say it's like if it's in Nixin Ha everywhere, it's like you're undoing the Sandy everywhere, which is fine. when you sing in Shin Ho everywhere, technically it's incorrect at certain places, but you know what it means. Like Krishna also knows what it means. So
Very good session. Very good session.
okay, so I'll stop here.
Thank you, Prabhu. Excellent example. Give me 6 examples.
Offer basis all the devotees. Vancha kalpatarubhishta kripa sindhubhyo eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Let's express our sincere gratitude to Mr. Kṛṣṇa-kīrtana. He is in the midst of moving his house, and still he had the sincere desire to share what he knows and what we could kind of help us to.
Since I'm moving, so I'm trying to sell some of the books, so I don't have to ship them back to Texas. So I have some of my Guru Maharaj's Krishna Maharaj books. If you are interested, can take a look. And I'm also going to try to bring it maybe a few more days in the morning. So for once.
Prabhu, what inspired you to go into that deep and find these people? What was his inspiration?
Well, I mean, personally, I'm a very critical person. So I like to find, I like to fault find. So, when I learn these things and I hear them being said differently, I just register in my mind. For most people, I guess, they don't even, they just let fly. They don't even pay attention to it. But I just have a different mindset. So when I hear it, I kind of noted it.
So as part of that, you learned the Sanskrit grammar.
I learned some basic, yes, basic grammar, yeah. And you can see like a little bit knowledge helps, like especially why put your letter a certain way, right? Because when you know the ground behind it, become very clear. Like why is per day, right? Become per da, right? Otherwise, just why it's not per day, why it's per day, right? Because
I'm saying Shashti is singular.
the what?
Shashti Vibhakti.
Yes, yeah, that's Prabhu, yeah, Prabhu. Actually, I think Nishinabur had the same one there, right? The second line, Nishinabur. Hiranyakashipu Rakshaha. It's actually Hiranyakashipu. But most people say Hiranyakashipu, which is fine. It's like then you're now doing the separate word, you join into samasa, which is grammatically still fine. Just a different.
Second, what is the right way to say that?
Hiranyakashipu. Bor, just
Yeah,
like yeah.
We recite offenses against holy names. We say Guru Ravajna, right? Third is Guru Ravajna.
Yeah.
Why Guru? That's because Shashti Vibhakti of words that is ending with U. Guru is the word Guru. So it becomes Guru Ravajna. So, the same way here. Hiranyakashipu. So it becomes. Then I forgot about it.
Start sing along.
I mean, technically, when we call each other Prabhu, if you're doing Sanskrit, you should say Prabhu, not Prabhu, because it should be vocative, right? We should say Prabhu. But we're not speak Sanskrit, so we'll just say Prabhu. I mean, if you're doing Sanskrit, say Prabhu. That's a locative. Just like yeah, like there.
Devi equals Devi. Sorry.
Yeah, like Radhe, right? And yeah, and Devi actually become Devi. It's short, yeah, Devi, yeah. Mata should be Matar. Actually, not Mata, it's Matar. Or Mataha, whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Devanagari, is that called Hindi as well, right? Or Devanagari is different?
Hindi also is Devanagari script. The script that is used for Hindi and Sanskrit is same.
Say again.
The script that you use to say that Hindi or Sanskrit is same. So the script name is Devanagari.
Even same is used for Marathi, same script.
And with some modifications.
Yeah.
Some modifications.
Yeah, but still we can read Marathi.
But that will still come in Devanagari?
Yeah.
And Devanagari and I mean, original, I mean, there are many other scripts that are similar, like, yeah, like you look at Gujarati, it's just like Devanagari without a bar, mostly. Many of them, like you can probably reckon more than half the Gujarati letters, if you know Devanagari. They look very, very similar.
Devanagari is the most accepted.
Currently, yeah. But if
In
you,
the past,
yeah,
they used to use the Brahmins.
yeah, you go back 1,000 years, 2,000 years, a different script. But
I will share.
yes, I'll send to Redmond.